So, in today's lesson, we're going to go over improvising idea. So, the idea that I want to go over is being able to use two notes at the same time while going up and down the neck, essentially harmonizing whatever note you're playing. So, whether that's being in sixths, in thirds, etc. We're not going to get into too much theory today, but here's some figures that you can use to go up and down the neck. And once you start using these, you'll hear this a lot in other guitar players. All right, here's the first figure that we're going to work on. We're going to mainly do it in E minor, since mainly we've been working with our E minor pentatonics a lot lately. So the way we're going to do this is you're going to start with this figure. You're going to go up to the 12th fret of the G and B, or G and E, sorry. When you're going to do the stacked figure. So you're going to go 12th fret on the G with your second finger, and then the 12th fret of the high E with your third finger. And those are your two notes. And then you're going to do this angled figure, which you're going to use your second finger to slide down to the 11th of the G, and then your first finger is going to go to the 10th of the high E. So your first finger is going down a whole step. And essentially, you're going up and down the minor scale on the high E. And on the G, you're going down the minor scale. So be really comfortable with that, because that's where the scale that we're going to go down. So let's do this figure. So remember, you're going to start with the stacked figuring, and you're going to come down. So follow along. And we're going to end there. So here we go, one more time. And this time we're going to play our low E to drone. Time, play your low E to drone. And that's it. So, and then you can play this going up too. So if we do this with the drone again, stick with the stacked. Those frets real quick. So what are those notes? So we're going to go to the 12th on both the G and E, and then we're going to go down to the 11th on the G to the 10th, and then you're going to take this exact same figure and then move it all down a whole step. So you're going to go down to the 9th of the G, and on the high E you're going to go on the 8th, and then 7th on G and E, then 5th on G and E. Then angled figure again, moving your G string down a half step and your high E a whole step down. So essentially being 4th on the G and then 3rd on the high E. And then you're going to move down a half step on the high E and a whole step on the G, ending up on the 2nd fret of both strings. So one more time. 12, 11 and 10, 9 and 8, 7, 7, 5, 5, 3, 4 and 3, sorry, and then 2 over 2. And if we wanted to go up, remember, keep your low E droning while you practice it so you can hear it. 12 and 12, 14 and 14, 16 and 15, 17, 17, 19, 19. That's how you do it on the high E and G string. Now, let's move that down to the D and B. Okay, so we're going to go down to the D and B, and we're going to start on the same spot we did with the G and E. So 12th on the D on B, using this stacked figure right here. And then we're going to go down a whole step from here. And then from here, we're going to go to the 9th fret on the D, and then the first finger is going to go on the 8th. Then we're going to go 7th on the D and B, down another whole step, to the 5th on both strings. Then we're going to go 4th on the D, and then 3rd on the B. And then we're going to take this figure, this angled figure, and we're going to go down a whole step from each. Okay, one more time. Nice job. All right, and then with the drone D, it should sound something like this. And then back up. Now let's keep going up from here. So from the 12th fret, we're gonna go 14 on the D, and then 13 on the high B, and then move that up a whole step. So essentially everything you're doing down here is just transposed up here. 17 and 17. 19 and 19. And let's see if we can get all the way up. I doubt you're gonna ever use this, but why not? 21 on the D, and then 20 on the B. You're never gonna go ever that high, but so from 19, 17, that is going to be 16 and 15 to 14, to 14 on the D, and then 13 on the B, and then 12 and 12. So moving up and down should sound something like this. Another thing, now that you got that down, if you want to make it bluesy, add some chromaticism in there. So here's what I mean. So let's go back to the G and E. We said that this was our next step, right? Well, you can go down to from the 12th to the 9th and 8th on the G and B. You can add some chromaticism in there. Add some flavor to that. And you can do that in literally any step. It's kind of like your diminished chords where you can use them anywhere. And then remember, practice that using droning the low D, or the low E in this case. You can do the same thing on the D and B. You can get some really cool, some cool moody ideas. Alright, so now we're going to cover thirds using the low strings. So we're going to mainly focus on the A and G. So keeping with A, in the key of E minor, I'm going to do this figure. So it's going to be a little bit different than what we did on the B, on the G and E and the B and E. G and E and D and B. Sorry, that gets confusing. So essentially we're going to play this figure. So again, you're going to be focusing mainly on your minor scale. So L and G. those are the notes you're going to be using. So be sure you really focus on those, okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with this figure up here. And that's going to be using your third finger on the 14th fret of the A, and then your first finger on the 12th of the G. And then you're going to go down to this angled figure that we saw down here on the G and E and the D and B. And then you're going to go to the A of the 12th fret of the A, and then first finger is going to go 11th on the high E. And then you're going to take this same figure and move it down a whole step to the 10th and 9th. And then you're going to go to the first figure we did, which is up here, and then you're going to play it on the 9th on the D and 7th on the G. And then you're going to do that same thing, move it down a whole step. And then move this down half step to this angled figure again. You're going to go to the 5th on the A, 4th on the G. Then move that down a whole step again. 3rd on the A, 2nd on the G, and then if you want, you can go all the way down and go to the 2nd fret on the A, and then open G. And then going up, back to the 3rd and 2nd. Whoops. 3rd and 2nd. 5th and 4th. 7th and 5th. 9 and 7th. 10th and 9th. 12th and 11th. 14 and 12th. And then with the drone, so it sounds something like this. Same thing as we did with the D and B. You can essentially everything you did down here, just transpose it past the 12th fret. Because remember, this is just your octave, so everything up here is the same as down here, just smaller. And then so on and so forth. So if you put them all together, it should sound something like this. And that's that.